Oh, and yo, I know what you're thinking. This stuff belongs to a man that's got his priorities straight. And you're right. Being happy matters. Uh, so does having money. But sometimes you spend money on the things that you want to do. And for some reason, I've wanted to be a Ghostbuster for a long time. I saw the 1984 film in the theater. I remember I was like 7, you know. Now you know how old I am if you do the math, if you're good at math. But for me, it's not really about the fandom or the geek side of it as much as it is. I guess it's the geek side of it, but not the film geek. More the clothing and equipment geek. Like I love gear. I'm a military guy by nature, and I've always loved clothing and equipment. And sort of the science fiction clothing and equipment that they put together for Ghostbusters is always kind of fascinated me. And I think it does a lot of people. Like they do look pretty cool in a geeky science fiction, not a real hero kind of way. Uh, but yeah, so I've begun the journey. It's almost Halloween. I'm not going to be ready for Halloween. It's almost the release of Afterlife. I'm not going to be ready for the release of Afterlife. But I guess those two things kind of like re-spark the interest inside of me to do it again. So here's what I have so far. There's more stuff that I've ordered, but it hasn't arrived yet. It's on the way. But I wanted to get this on the table right away and get this video started just to kind of show people where I'm at a starting point. Um, First of all, for those that don't know, this is not a full-size pack. And that's really, really important to understand right away. This is called the Spirit Pack, and it's made as a Halloween gimmick, if you will. But it does provide a good starting point. Okay. Now, I want you to understand something. I'm not going to use this as my regular pack. I'm going to use this as a learning platform. In fact, everything to the right, from the Proton pack to the right, is going to be an experiment in learning that I'm eventually going to sell or give away to a friend, or if I have a girlfriend at that point. Who am I kidding? But you know, I'll probably sell it and use that money to build a full size pack. But I'm using this as a learning experience. So here's what I have. So this is the Spirit Proton pack here. It's it's about 75-80% full size, except for the neutron wand or the gun or whatever you want to call it. It's like 50% literally, because this here is a full size. Okay. And the full size is from Hasbro. They've created something as a bit of a gimmicky toy called the Spengler wand. And it is kind of based off the new hype that's going to be around the Afterlife film, which was postponed a year because of COVID, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rebuild this pack. I'm going to add some metal parts. I'm going to add some new electronics that are readily available on the commercial market. I'm going to attach the full-size Neutrona one and get rid of the little small one. Um, Again, it's going to be a little bit too large for the pack, but I've got plans on how to beef up the size of the pack a little bit too. So I'm going to be basically using large plastic cutting boards. They kind of are perfectly cut in a way that makes them look like aluminum. So I'm going to have them painted, of course, but I'm going to build up the back and build up the what they call the motherboard is the back piece there. Um, so that's that. Now, moving on from the Proton pack, the 80% Proton pack, as I mentioned, I've got the 1-to-1 ratio um, Neutrona wand, and that has functional electronics and functional buttons. So almost everything on it that is supposed to move does move, which is pretty cool. So again, it's a good starting platform. So some guys really turn these into incredible products. Like basically, if you don't really realize that it's not full size, you are going to be pretty impressed because of all the lights and all the sounds and you know the quality that they put into it, the power, all that kind of thing. Um, Anyways, moving on from that to the right, that's another Spirit product. It's just a Halloween gimmick, but they're getting better at Halloween. Like when I was a kid, it was like a plastic mask with one little elastic around that you could snap by pulling on it. Two little staples hold it in, and then you wore basically a garbage bag over your body that was like Dracula or something. And like, yeah, it didn't even last the night, you know. But now they're making stuff that's like from afar looks like movie props, you know. So, anyways, that's what the goggles are there. The goggles are a good starting point as well. Like they've got rubber on the back, and they have all kinds of elastic and stuff like that, so I can pull everything off, sew it up better, you know, using a blunt needle. You don't want to use a sharp needle when you're sewing elastic because it just splits the elastics and compromises the elastic itself. um, but yeah, I'm gonna do that. The trap in the back, it's kind of broken, but the guy gave it to me just not for free, but really, really cheap. He kind of threw it in. By the way, I got a hell of a deal on this stuff. This was used once by his son for Halloween last year, and he sold it to me for $40. They pretty much go on eBay for roughly around 200 pretty regularly, from what I understand, like give or take. I mean, I talk Canadian dollars, but you know, Spirit Halloween still sells them online, so I don't know why people would pay money for them on eBay, extra money, but I learned that now. If I was going to rebuy one, I would just go straight to Spirit Halloween first and see if they have any in stock and pay a regular price before I went to eBay, paid extra money, paid extra shipping, and all that kind of stuff. But what's really exciting is over here on the left. Now, this is the stuff that's a little closer to what they wore. Um, this is an official flight suit. Um, it's the Nomex flight suit. It's the tan one. In the first film, they actually, believe it or not, wore a ripstop tan material. They must have had them custom made, because I've never ever in my life heard of a ripstop flight suit. And any official issue flight suit would always have been Nomex. And they weren't making commercial flight suits too much back then in the 80s for sure. Like there would have been that flight suits company which became Gibson and Barnes or whatever, but that might have been where they got them. But I find it funny that they can't everybody's still alive pretty much for the most part. They can't just ask these questions and find out, like, you know, all the GB fans are like, yo, I don't know the answer, you know, and like unfortunately everybody's too busy to answer our questions, so we're just going to leave it as a big mystery. When they could just seriously get to the bottom of it by talking to people that worked on the film. But anyways, other than that, it's pretty much authentic. I've just got to brass up the zippers. So the zippers are originally brass underneath, so I've either got to sand them down to the original color, or I can use a brass tip marker and sort of bring that out and keep some of that paint protection on them so they don't oxidize over time. That's what I might actually do, because I think it would be a little bit easier than sanding them. If I start to sand the zippers, I could unintentionally touch any of this material on the outside or on the inside and start to fray it up. Now, a lot of people like that damaged look because, like one other guy on YouTube said, they're basically ghost janitors. But at the same time, the reason I don't want my stuff to get too messed up, and again, this is just a practice Proton pack. When I go full size, I'm going to go completely new. And it's because of this here. This is the LC1 frame, and this is very rare. Also, it's in mint condition. So it's got that type of buckle release with the 1-inch straps, right? See that? It's got the small kidney pad belt, and it's got the double, the V sewn in. The newer ones came just squared, but that's the old style. So, and then it's got the quick release just on the one side. So that's actually for Ghostbusters 1. That's the right pack to use. So, and it's in mint condition, so that's so rare. The last item that I got is just the Motorola MT500. I'm not sure if I'm going to put silly, gimmicky, you know, electronics in it that just talk, you know, sound bites from the movie, or if I'm actually going to make it functional again. At this time, it's not functional. It needs new parts, a broken crystal inside or something like that. The other thing is it's only a 2-way. They actually had a 4-way, so that would be another knob. So I'm going to see if I can find one of those, but it's not the biggest priority right now. But anything I don't use, again, I eventually will sell and make some money on to put towards my full-time pack. So what you see on the left essentially is the real deal kind of stuff, and I'm going to bring the rest of what I build up to that caliber. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I appreciate it. If you like the video, please like it. And if you're interested in following the build, then please subscribe as well, because I'm definitely going to be on top of this for a while. So thank you so much for joining me and watching this with me. And yeah, have yourself a good day wherever the hell you are. Peace.